What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a special edition of Full Court Press. I am your boy Reggie. Man, we got some big NBA trades to talk about today. When I heard this news, I had to talk about it, but I'm not doing this show by myself. Ladies and gentlemen, for today, this is a special occasion to me. One half of Talking Good, Walking Bad, which will be airing this Saturday, so check that out. My brother, TG.
What's going on, bro? Feels good to stop by the pad, check out everything. I like what you did with the place, man.
What's going on, brother?
Not too much, man. Hey, it's your world, man.
Hey, when I heard about this news, this was a must talk about to me. I had to do a show about this. After 13 seasons with the Milwaukee Bucks, bringing them a chip and all that,
Yeah,
Giannis
yeah,
Antetokounmpo
yeah.
is taking his talents to South Beach.
South Beach. Yo, that was one of them
So
ones
that,
that you hear the rumors. You hear the rumors and you like, hey, maybe not. They gonna play around with it. Bucks ain't gonna do that. They don't want to help nobody. And then like 12 o'clock at midnight, you like, I'm glad I stood up late that night.
I wanted to stay up late that day because I wanted to see whether he was going to Miami or Boston. And we're going to talk about Boston because now it's a lot of confrontation going on in Boston about Jaylen Brown. What's his future going to look like in Boston or elsewhere
Definitely.
with
You know what?
Giannis?
Boston is
Team,
Boston is a subject.
Boston is a
Boston is a
subject,
subject
but
for a couple
going
reasons.
going back to the Greek Freak, leaving Milwaukee to go to Miami, pairing him up with Bam. How do you see that pairing it up? Do you think that Miami got a chance to win the chip?
I believe that there's a chance there. Miami has put themselves in a situation where they did back when LeBron and Bosh came. You got some good assets, but now you have to figure out a way to round out that team. And everybody's and their mama is saying what they should be saying. Find you some shooters. Find some shooters, space the floor. If you don't get a big man, find some shooters, most important. So is the chance there? Shoot, chance, yeah. But I will say that window is going to be shorter than what people think. You got about 4 years to make something happen.
Here's my thoughts on when I heard about that trade. And like you said, putting shooters around Giannis, putting shooters around Bam. You know you got Bam Adebayo, you got Giannis, and you got Andrew Wiggins. That front three, all three of those guys can play defense. It's supporting the shooters around them. Now losing Norman Powell to free agency, if they would have kept a guy like that, I could see. I can see
Yeah.
that my guy saying Knicks in five, Knicks in five. But that's my problem with Miami. They got to surround that team with shooters, and they have to have a solid bench. If you want to hang with the Bostons, if you want to hang with the Cavs, if you want to hang with the Knicks, you got to have talent on those three positions. Because if not, I don't see this going on. Moving on to the
That's,
Boston Celtics.
yeah, that's what I was saying with
Jaylen
Miami. You got about
Brown.
4 years. If it don't happen in 4 years, nah. And I will take Hardaway. His suggestion is that Pat Riley is definitely cooking up something up his sleeve. We'll see. But I think Miami has to take the
We'll
route that a
see.
lot of young teams did. And they stop trying to look at who
Yeah.
we know as a star, who is already developed. And you got to start putting your money and time into these guys that ain't nobody looking at, drafting good, and all that other good stuff. But yeah, Boston. Boston.
The Celtics and Jaylen Brown. This team, after pairing these guys up for so long, and Jaylen Brown being talks of getting traded since last season, This should have happened last season if it was going to happen. And now that Jaylen Brown wants out of Boston, it is going to be tough for the Celtics to hold on to these pieces and these guys not get the pay that they deserve. But Jaylen Brown, he's a talented player. He's a great player. I'm not saying he's garbage. He's very
I'm gonna give him that.
talented.
I'm gonna give him that.
But where do you see Jaylen Brown's future? Do you see it in Boston or elsewhere?
Elsewhere, definitely. For two reasons. I'm gonna say two reasons. One, it seems like he is open to going elsewhere, if not demanding. I don't know if there's a demand there from him, but he's open to it. And two, every time you hear about a trade trying to get somebody, his name is the first one to come up out of that camp. They are trying to move him. Or, well, I won't say trying. They don't mind moving him. The reason why I thought about that with Miami is rumor has it, that's all I got. I don't actually work behind the scenes with the league. Rumor has it that Boston offered Bam 80 mil. Offered him 80
Yeah.
mil and Bam turned it down. And they were trying to make a trade package, including the guy we're talking about now, Jaylen. They were trying to do that with Milwaukee. Everybody with anybody to trade for, they are throwing him in there first, off rip. So I don't see him having a future in Boston. Me personally, from a fan perspective, good. I cannot support the Celtics. Love the players, hate the league. I mean, hate the franchise. I just can't. People who know me know why.
Another big trade happened, and it involved Charlotte and Minnesota.
Did not
Now,
see that coming.
Minnesota making the moves that they did this all season, trading Julius Randle to the Brooklyn Nets, breaking up Julius Randle and Ant-Man's relationship after leading them to the playoffs after one season. Now, Minnesota is looking to rebuild.
And
What
boy,
did
did
they
they.
do?
Boy.
LaMelo Ball is on his way to the Minnesota Timberwolves, pairing him and Anthony Edwards together.
Scary.
Nas Reed is up out of there, which was a big blow because I like Nas Reed. He's a
I
hell of
like
a
his game.
player.
I like his game.
Losing Nas Reed and gaining LaMelo Ball. Where do you see the Timberwolves winding up this season?
Man, I got to tell you, if this was 2005, 2000, no, 2015, 2016, same guys, same way they're playing right now, then you got a major problem on your hand. There's still going to be a problem because those two are going to be like two pit bulls out there. There's still a problem. The problem that they're going to run into is the size in the West. Ant-Man has been, honestly, a great to watch, great player, fun player to watch, but he's been overachieving. He has ball now to be able to kind of lighten that load, but both of them need the ball in their hands. Both of them are playmakers. Both of them serve essentially the same role. They're going to have to figure out how to take that ball, take that cake, and cut it in half in order to make this thing work, because the West is big again, man. Look at OKC. Look at San Antonio, of course, with the alien. Look at a lot of these bigs. I know Anthony Davis is not over there right now, but you still got a lot of big guys to worry about. With your of course, Gobert is still there, but size is going to play a difference with those having them. They're not small by any means, but their game is not a big body game. So if they can get the assist going to kind of free them up, and have the other team on their heels, kind of like, where's it going to come from? Is it going to be a dime, or are they going to do an outside shot like Ball like to do? He developed his outside, or is Ant-Man going to drive on us? But it's going to be fun to watch. I know that. Dare I say it could resemble LeBron and Wade kind of 1-2 punch. Dare I say.
My camera's kind of frozen right now, but we'll get that together right now. So
We hear you though. We
that's
hear
neither
you.
here
You
nor
good,
there.
man.
We here. But Austin Reeves is returning to Los Angeles on a major contract. The question to my question is, they haven't signed LeBron just yet, but AR signed him back, and you know they're not letting go Luca, and LA looking for bigs and a bench. Where do you see the Lakers ending up this year? Are they playoff caliber or are they play in caliber?
My first favorite team. They are playoff caliber. But I, unfortunately, man, as much as I want to say they go deep in the playoffs, I got to be honest. We got a lot of the same things, and we're trying to work out something, when the formula was there in 2020. When they won that chip, I don't care what anybody say, that bowl chip definitely counts. If not, it was a tougher championship to win. But that Miami team gave them everything, and they withstood that. How do they do it? I'm going back to size on this. They had big men playing a big man's role with McGee, with Dwight Howard. And we don't have that right now. Like Austin, I'm glad we called Austin. Austin said, let me get my money though. Understood. LeBron, he's back and forth on whether he gets this money though. That's the scary part. We got Luka, but what do you put around him? Again, it's not the star players anymore in this league. It's not the star players in the NBA this league. We got ballers, but you know who wins championships? I thought about this last night. Ballers are for celebrity. They're for commercials. They're for selling shoes. You need a team full of hoopers. Ballers need the ball, the fame, the stardom. Ballers need the ball. Hoopers need the W, and that's what they get you. LA ain't got the hoopers right now.
Man, that's straight fast. LA hasn't had the Hoopers since Kobe. RIP to the Black Mamba.
Right. And that
But
was a hell.
it is talks around the NBA about Mitchell Robinson. Is he going to sign a contract to go back to New York, or does the Knicks have the money to keep him, or is another team going to sign Mitchell Robinson? If I'm Mitchell Robinson, I would work out a deal with New York and run it back. Do you see the Knicks pulling off that deal?
I would damn sure try. I damn sure would try. The problem with that is it depends on two factors. It depends on one, the man himself. What does he lay his head on at night? And two, what do the Knicks want? Do they just want to keep something together? Or are you just trying to keep him from elsewhere? What I mean by the first part is he there? Is he like a Brunson where he's like, yo, save the money, I'll come spend that money on making sure we straight. Because once you win a chip, I don't care if you're the 12th man on the bench, your value goes up. So I don't know, man. This is one I really don't have one way or another about. I have no idea, but if I'm New York, I'm damn sure go try.
These trades, we got a lot of free agencies going into the next season. The summer league is coming up. The NBA draft. Now we all saw that. Who in this year's NBA draft are you more excited to see?
Now that one I'm not even going to front this year, man. You have to give me some 411. It's been a couple names that I can't even remember right off, but I've seen some clips of their games. But as far as the draft class, I'm weak on that this year. And that's not a knock to anybody that's in this draft class. But hey, man, I'm wide-eyed open. This is not like a couple years prior. I'm wide-eyed open. I can't say I'm excited, but that ain't a bad thing. So, I mean, you give me somebody to look, give me and the audience somebody to, hey, maybe I need to check this guy out.
I paid attention to this draft. There's a lot of talented kids in this draft. That kid Cam Carr getting drafted by the Knicks, getting traded to LA. He was athletic. He's going to be a problem, and him and Luca is gonna work magic. I'm interested to seeing what Cam Carr is gonna do in the NBA this year. I wanted him to stay in New York because of his athleticism, and we need guys in New York with athleticism like OG and. But Cam Carr is a name to be watched, is to be looked out for this year, and so is that number one draft kid, that kid that went to Washington. Anthony Davis, and Trae Young, with the right team and the right bench around them, if AD stays healthy, and that's another issue for me, his health going into this league this year. If AD can stay healthy, I think in the East, Washington is tired of being looked from the outside looking in, and they're saying, "Hey, with the players that we have right now, we here too." What are your expectations on the Washington Wizards?
I I haven't said this out loud, but I dang sure thought it. And this was when Trae Young got there. Washington, in a matter of, I give them actually 2 years, if not less, with a healthy AD, they're going to sneak up and become like a Indiana, like a Orlando, like a Detroit. They're going to sneak up and become one of those teams. And I mean, trust me, I'm not one of those like really religious people, but things do work in cycles. Teams cycle themselves in. Look at your Knicks, look at your Spurs, look at the playoffs this year, the past 4 years actually. And sometimes they cycle themselves out. It is time in Washington, and I know Washington is like Brooklyn. A lot of people sleep on them automatically, but look at what the possibilities are. And Lord knows they got the money to be able to do something. It's all in being attractive and drafting the right pieces. I give them 2 years before you start tuning into them games. I mean, if you're on the East Coast, you're gonna watch them
I
anyway.
give them 2 years too.
But yeah, I give them 2 years before you start saying you can't just slack off on that game.
Now everybody said Knicks is gonna run it back. Everybody said Knicks in five again is gonna happen. I think the Knicks proved themselves to be a team to be reckoned with this year.
For sure. For sure.
Are they going to do it again next year? I'm not going to say yes. I'm not going to say no. I'm saying it's going to be tough because it is tough in any sport to go back to back and do it. We saw a few teams do it. If the pieces stay together, can this Knick team do it again?
And this is the reason why I'm not a betting man. I'm not a bitter man because who knows? And I'm not saying this because of the Knicks. And I'm not saying this because of anything other than this is how sports goes. In order to win a championship, the planets damn near have to align. You have to have the personnel. They have to stay healthy. God forbid anybody get hurt on the other team, but that plays a factor. If you're playing against a team that's not put together, that when I say not put together, I mean like, hey, key people are hurt. You got to hope that the right people that you don't match up well against, you got to hope that they get beat. You got to hope and pray that you get the right matchups. You got to look at your position and when playoffs comes. When you start battling for those spots because you know who you don't want to see. It's hard. And we've seen this year and the past 2 years, actually, we got teams all around in the East that are stepping up. Who would have thought Detroit would have been where they are? Who would have thought Cleveland? Who would have thought Orlando? And man, I mean, giving props to Atlanta, but I'm from Georgia. I live in Georgia. I'm a Georgia boy, proud, born and raised. But with Atlanta giving the Knicks some trouble at the beginning there, you can't see nothing but a high ceiling there. So, man, I won't sit here and say, yes, the Knicks going to run it back, or no, because things happen. I mean, look at last year. It looked good until an injury happened. So, man, I wish I could predict the future.
If they keep, and like you said, if they stay healthy and if they keep the same pieces that they have a chance to shock a lot of people in this league. But it is going to be tough. A lot of things, a lot of teams is looking to step up. What's Kyrie Irving gonna look like next year when he returns to Dallas? Is Dallas
Ooh.
gonna be the same team with Cooper Flag being healthy, with a healthy Kyrie Irving coming back? With that team, you can't forget about Minnesota. You can't forget about San Antonio with the alien. The West is stacked, and so is the East. You cannot sleep on the East. Now, certain teams on the East, like the Cavs and James Harden with that curse, and what he does, what is the Cavs going to look like next year? Are they going to keep Harden because they fired their coach and brought somebody else in, which I knew they
Yeah.
were going to do? What is he going to do with Harden and Mitchell if Mitchell decides, look, I want to go to a championship team? Not saying that the Cavaliers don't have those pieces because they got a lot of young guys on that team that can ball. But it has to be a time in a player's career where they say enough is enough, and I'm going to play my ass off. I'm sorry, and go play for a championship.
Mm-hmm.
We seen Kawhi Leonard do it not
Mm-hmm.
once but twice. What is James Harden's future going to look like in the Cavaliers next year?
Man, I'm so glad you brought that up. I am glad. It's something I thought about early in the week because, man, one man I do not envy is James Harden. And going back to something I said earlier, James Harden is indeed a baller. He is a baller. He ain't getting you that W, man. And I'm looking at, like you said, Mitchell. I would not be surprised. Maybe not in the near future. I would not be surprised if you see Donovan Mitchell in a Heat uniform. And I'm not saying that to make a big three. I'm not saying that because I mean it's a reasonable choice to put Mitchell down there in South Beach out of Eastern Conference teams. And don't get me wrong, I think Donovan Mitchell loves the Eastern Conference. He balls
Yes,
out
he does.
with the Eastern Conference. I would not be surprised because I mean, again, with James Harden, his style of play disrupts what a team normally does, especially coming in the way he did. Not even the full season. It disrupted what the Cavs had going on. So now you're looking at playoff time and you're like, yeah, we got a star, we got two stars, we got a well-built team, and then now it's playoff time. It's like, who's gonna get the ball? It's crunch time, and them lights get bright, or whatever the hell happens with Harden, and you see it come apart. Like you said, every player has that time where it's like, okay, I'm young, I'm spry, I can get it done. This feels good, this looks good, it's great. I'm building up my name, but after a while, you want that chip. You want that championship. You want that on your record. And I think Harden is actually going to be one of the ones because I mean, he hasn't had any real major injuries in his career. Nothing crazy, right?
Nothing crazy.
Harden
Nothing
gonna be
major.
one of
It's
the
just
ones.
that
He gonna be one of the ones floating around until he's trying to sniff one by any means necessary, man.
that
Unfortunately,
is
he ain't
a
gonna be
fact.
the guy to do it.
We had some WNBA action that I wanted to talk about. So let's talk about some of that. Let's talk about the major issue with the WNBA right now. And one player in particular, when I saw this play, is Caitlin Clark.
That was
Caitlin
horrible.
Clark getting a throat, a fist to the throat. I mean, the girl can ball. The Indiana Fever is trying to be one of those teams that can shock the world and say, "Hey, we can win a championship too." Do they have the pieces to do it this year? Maybe. Like the WNBA is stacked, and one of the players that I've seen that I was shocked that moved was Angel Reese, because Angel Reese was in Chicago and she took her talents to the ATL,
Yes, sir.
which is not a bad look for Angel Reese because Atlanta they got a pretty decent team. But
Atlanta
with
keep
the
a good team.
WNBA and the way that the WNBA is stacked, and I'm talking about from the Liberty to the Aces, the Fever, Minnesota got a great team. LA Sparks, they got a great team.
Yeah, they do.
Who do you see coming out on top this year? Who do you see? Who would you like to see go to the WNBA finals and play for a chip?
Not just because I'm biased, because I am in the WNBA. I like the spark and I like the dream. I want to see Atlanta do what the Knicks did. The dream was always going deep in the playoffs, stayed going to the finals. It seems like they were in the finals like every year, it seems like. I know that's not true, but I mean, they were going deep in the playoffs every year. Bomb team, nice team, full of players, full of ballers, hoopers, well-rounded, and just couldn't get it. I want to see them, not because Angel is there. I want to see them get it. And I really wish that Brittany Griner actually would have stayed around with Angel because that team would have been phenomenal. I understand Griner has her own motivation for why she left. And I know she wants to, be in a certain area to live in. So she's playing in the team she's on now just to get to another team. I wish she would have stayed in Atlanta. That would have been deadly seeing Angel down there and Brittany down there. Crazy. So I want to see the Dream win.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to see them get that just because of that feel-good moment, man.
To me, and I'm not just like you because I'm not being biased, but I love me some Asia Wilson. And to be the champs, you gotta beat the champs. So I want to see my Las Vegas Aces go back, defend their crown to somebody who's hungry. And I'm like, I love the rookies in Minnesota. Angel Reese. And I'm a huge Angel Reese fan, and I want to see him win a chip this year. So I would love to see to me, I want to see Vegas and Atlanta.
That would be awesome.
I think it would steal the show. I think Asia against Angel would be amazing to see. And may the best team win.
I think that one that sells by itself. Like that would be television worth watching. Taking nothing away from any other team, but I think if you put that matchup there, it's almost like a chance of a changing of the guard, almost, so to speak. But I mean, Miss Asia. Oh my gosh, man, I should not admire her the way I do, Miss Wilson. I should not admire Bam the way I do for her. But that would be amazing to see. But I'm still calculating on this tongue and death grip that Caitlin Clark took. That was horrible, man. I never want to see that in sports. That was a little too far.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And I think the right call was being made. The 1 game suspension was the right call. So shout out to the WNBA for making the right call on that one.
Absolutely.
Folks, this was fun. This was amazing. But this ain't the last time. Tune in next week. It could be big trades coming up. Same time, different day, Tuesdays. And also tune in. I'm excited for this NFL season. Tune in. 100 yards and running is right around the corner. But also tune in this Saturday. My brother right here, and my blood brother, Mel Walker, one half of Talk Good, Walk Bad. So please tune in to that. And also tune in to Jump Over the Barricade. There is a lot to talk about this weekend. There is a lot of wrestling going on. You don't want to miss that.
Yes.
Any
Since
last,
the WNBA kicked
any
off the
last
wrestling.
words, my brother? For real. Any final thoughts, my brother?
No, man. Like I say, you gotta, even though the season's over, that's the NBA, but it's a lot of news still to be made. Let's see what these GMs do. They shift and move and make some moves. I'm interested in that. But I'm glad to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. Folks, tune in next week. That's your boy TG. I'm your boy Reg. Peace and love. We out of here.
Yes, sir.